This video I'm about to show you is a great example. It illustrates perfectly how Western media, 90+% of it in English-speaking countries, are just propagandists. They're just pushing narratives. They're not interested in informing the public. Their only interest is in trying to influence the public. And as I said, this is a great example of that. Now watch Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, as he just calmly dismantles this propagandist in real time.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean,
What do you mean by that?
certainly you
Give me an
tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left
But
or right.
anyways,
I don't really believe in that.
Okay. A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump.
Right there. Donald Trump. I mean, everything he said so far is just pure nonsense, but you knew he was going to go to Donald Trump. It's their favorite little trick to try and scare independents away from voting conservative. Because you see, they've spent years telling Canadians how terrible that evil orange man is in the States. And then they use this tactic to try and cash in on their own propaganda.
Well, like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
Like who?
I don't know who, but...
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
Okay. I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given, not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
What are you
also,
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying that.
In terms of turning things quite dramatically, in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Oh, so it's almost as if he could have just asked the question without trying to manipulate the audience beforehand. But then he wouldn't be earning all those media subsidies from Trudeau, would he? Darn it.
Common sense.
Okay.
Common sense for a change. We're going to make common sense common in this country. We don't have any common sense in the current government. The guy prints $600 billion, grows our money supply by 32% in 3 years. That's growing the money 8 times faster than the economy. No wonder we have the worst inflation in 4 decades. I'm going to cap spending, cut waste, so that we can balance the budget and bring down inflation and interest rates. You'll want to be able to pay your mortgage again? You want to be able to afford rent? Then you have to vote for Pierre Poilievre, because I'm the only one with a common sense plan that will bring back the buying power of your paycheck.
And that is why activist journalists try and put their finger on the scale, because they know that's an appealing message. And as for him, making the suggestion that Pierre Poilievre is far right, because that's really what he's trying to get across there, and taking a page out of the Trump book and all the rest of that. Who says that? Who says that? He does. It's him and his buddies in the corporate media in Canada. They say that. That's why he can't answer the question. Who says that? Well, where? What page? He can't answer because it's them. Well, also people that he saw on Twitter too, who only say that because they were told that in the media anyway. And you know what? I'd take Trump over Trudeau any day of the week. I wouldn't care how many mean tweets he did. He could even make fun of Chrystia Freeland. In fact, I think I'd rather enjoy that. It really is so astonishing at how transparent these people are. He had a question. Why should people vote for you? He couldn't just ask that question, though, could he? Because he's got to try and poison everything beforehand. He's got to try and put his own stink on it. How is this even journalism? I mean, if you're going to ask that question, you should at least have an answer. Who? Who said it? And if we have to bring American politicians into the conversation, well, what about Hillary Clinton speaking at the 2023 Liberal National Convention? Maybe Justin just needed some pointers on destroying hard drives. How about Bernie Sanders sending a video message to the NDP at their policy convention? I heard it went well until he started bumming smokes from everyone. This is the absolute state of journalism in Canada. People think that you're the Trump orange man. I mean, it's absolutely pathetic. And it just became more pathetic the more that Pierre refused to humor him on it. He just very casually allowed the man to make a fool of himself. Do I think that Pierre Poilievre is perfect? No. Is he a hell of a lot better than Trudeau? Absolutely. And the fact that the Conservative Party is dominating in the polls right now really tells you something about just how bad Trudeau is, especially when Pierre Poilievre is facing such a hostile media. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.